Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with yet another hit to the bottom line of small business owners. Craft brewers here in BC say they struggle to compete with their competitors next door in Alberta. Well, after years of COVID shutdowns, pandemic loans, and a downturn in the economy, they're saying to the NDP government, enough is enough. Noah Abel has our top story.
Craft breweries across BC are demanding a reform to the current tax system on beer production. The BC Craft Brewers Guild launched a campaign called Protect BC Craft Beer and is asking the government for tax equity. The jobs critic for BC's official opposition says David Eby's government is punishing local breweries wanting to grow.
Right now, we have a system that penalizes success. We are actually punishing craft brewers for creating more jobs, more opportunities, more tax revenue, and more demand for agricultural inputs.
BC beer producers pay 40 cents a liter until they reach Tier 1, set at 15,000 hectoliters or 30,000 kegs of beer. Then taxes progressively increase, reaching a flat rate of $1.08 per liter when production hit 350,000 hectoliters. Critics say the system favors large foreign-owned beer companies over small local breweries.
What we're asking for is a 75% reduction down to a number that most of our members are making, which is under 2,000 hectoliters.
Here in Dawson Creek, there's direct competition with nearby Alberta, which has a much fairer tax scheme. The co-owner of Post and Row says despite the current success of his brewery, they're paying a lot of taxes for a relatively small amount of production.
We've certainly scaled up in our production, but we're still very small. So we are in the lower bracket of tax of markup. And so currently we're in the 40 cents a liter markup.
Since the last tax reform 8 years ago, the world's largest beer companies have received $60 million in rebates from the BC government. Province-wide, Betty says 168 breweries have opened during that time, and none have hit the Tier 1 markup.
It's been 8 years, and in that time, not one of those breweries will make 15,000 hectoliters. In fact, the majority of them will take probably 10 years of volume to make that.
Betty says the Guild has a meeting scheduled with the Minister of Agriculture next month. Drouin is hoping a change is on the horizon.
If we can make life easier for our membership, in turn, it makes it wonderful for small communities, rural communities, breweries across the province.
Back to the BC Conservative Party, Dew says the government is not keeping up with a fast-moving marketplace where there's competition from other provinces.
It shouldn't take a public opinion campaign for an industry association to get a meeting with the government about an industry that supports 6,000 jobs. This is ridiculous.
Noah Abel, CJDC-TV News, Dawson Creek.